What does it mean to be a femcel? Are you just like a gamer e-girl or something?
Oh.
Femcel, I think men are trash and horrible, and
It's like an
yeah, that's
Oh,
incel,
I
but it's the
see.
female version. Go
So
on.
it's like a 4B type of female.
oh no, that's different.
Oh.
For
That's
I
Trump.
don't want to
Okay.
sit with men. I just hate men, and
She's an
I want to
incel.
be a virgin ever.
I just
So
hate men. Oh, oh.
So do you like prefer
yeah.
women? Is that what's going on?
No. I'm not a freaking. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm not gay. But I would
Okay.
rather
You
be
hate
super.
men, but you like dick.
So,
I'm
well, I mean,
confused.
that's the thing
Yeah.
though. I mean, she could hate men
Yo,
and then
isn't she a
just
minor? You
Yeah.
can't say that. What the fuck?
Not a minor, but yeah, sexual, whatever. Yeah,
How old are you?
like gratification doesn't mean I love them. I mean,
I mean, it's so
freaking
I
slave.
mean,
Huh?
it is kind of weird to have a relationship with a robot, but I mean,
What
if
do you mean
that's
a
what
robot? I said
if
that I
that's what
want
makes
to
you
be a.
happy, like
What robot? I said I want to be a virgin forever. Like, are you
oh,
okay?
okay. All right.
Do you like dildos?
Okay.
Do do you support the 4B movement?
No, it's just I just think I don't want to like be touched by men. That's just me. But um,
Bismo, are you investing into like cat food?
No, why? Is that the next
I
thing?
don't know. I mean, I think. What? Oh, hold on, Femso. Would do you like cats?
do I like cats?
Like,
I
would you
have
get
a
a cat?
I have a cat.
Yeah. I
Two
I, I
gen.
just think I think the demand for cat food might go up.
Though the demand for cat. I mean, honestly, I would prefer that than
You know,
like women having reckless sex and getting a whole bunch of abortions, just avoiding
what
men
I'm saying,
altogether.
Bismo?
I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
not a
that's
very
bad.
healthy thing
What do you mean it's not health? What's not healthy?
to just have a bunch of random sex and have a bunch of abortions. It's not healthy.
Oh yeah, like I prefer that. I prefer the 4B movement than a bunch of like hoes on Tinder and stuff having sex with random men. So yeah, I support it. It's empowering. I mean, Jesus was single, so why not? So you're Catholic, right, Abysmal?
Yes, ma'am.
So I was like talking to like one of my friends, right? And I'm like, I want to be like a woman pastor.
Yeah, it's not, well, I mean, here's the thing. You can be a nun in the Catholic Church, but you can't be like a ecclesial minister in the Catholic Church. It's not
Mm,
possible. But here's the thing. There's a lot of things that like religious women do, that literally are essential to the Christian community. Like there was a
mm,
time when like, I mean, you've seen like the whole like nuns, you know what I mean? Like in the black and white and they're like teachers and stuff. That's like, and they
yeah.
used to work in the hospitals and stuff. There's a lot of smart nuns, you know what I mean? That are still like professional
Oh,
doctors and stuff. It's
wait,
just
why
like we need more nuns like
you
this. We need more dedicated, consecrated women.
mm. So I have a question. Like, what do you think? Like the Bible is like undermine like woman's intelligence or whatever?
No,
Like,
I don't believe
why?
so at all. I believe Christianity
No.
is unique in history because, like, historically speaking, it gave a lot of empowerment to women for the time, right? And our understanding of sacramental marriage being a consent between both of the parties, like
Hmm.
it's a stark difference from what marriage was like in for most of human
The
history.
when Jesus said like husbands love your wives, that was kind of like a radical like thing that changed people's minds.
That's actually insane. That's why I hate men. But I love Jesus. Jesus
Yeah,
is not a man.
he is a man.
No, he's not. He's God.
No, Jesus had a penis.
No, I don't consider him as a man. He's God. He's like
Yeah,
he
but
just
that's the thing
well
though.
God.
Jesus was both fully God and fully man. And he was
Well,
man in the form of like a literal male. So he has a
well,
penis.
maybe he just wanted to have a penis so people could like, I guess, like listen to him. I feel like he knew that about society, but I don't care about like he can just be whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
To-
Another way is that, yeah, I mean, being a human being, you know, like I guess like your sex, right? Like in terms of like male or
Mhm.
female, that's part of who you are as a human person.
Yeah, but as
But
God, that doesn't
I kind of
matter.
That's
So
the Christian belief is that human sexuality is essential to who we are as people.
our sexuality is essential to who we are.
Yeah. I mean, like yeah, you could say that.
Mm,
So
yeah,
you
I
The
don't
can't
think
just
fundamental
so.
you can't
ontology of
just
who we are.
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
We're
can't
not
just choose to
interchangeable
be
widgets.
right.
I mean, in the Bible, it said God had many faces, so
Yeah,
it's
but
like
again, we're not God in that way. And
no. That's
that's all
why
metaphorical
I
language.
hate men, not Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like men, like they're just men. They're infallible. Jesus, he's divine. He can be whatever he wanted. He could be a freaking female, sex, whatever. He
Yeah, but the
decided.
reality is he chose to become a male.
Yeah, sure, but I don't
but
care. Like,
also
It's not a
also
coincidence
the
or an
like
accident.
the most,
yeah, it's not a
but
coincidence.
Mary is like
Obviously,
also a female.
men.
So like the most exalted like human is Mary, which is like a woman, and but Jesus is a male. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
fairness right there in a way.
I think God
yeah.
understands because God's plan was for there to be both male and female. So, and it's not just male and female like they're equal to each other. They are equal like in value to God, right? But they have their own specific roles by which um without one or the other, they're not both fully a human being. So, a male is not fully a human. A female is not fully a human. They need both to be fully human.
Yeah, so I hate men. That's literally what it is. God is like divine, and I love God. It's just that I don't like men. Um, they're like, I just think they're retarded.
The
That's
triune
fair.
Godhead
Those
is
are
all
fair
male, though.
assumptions or sentiments
Yeah,
to
because
have.
like, why? Okay, literally, it
Hold,
says like Adam was not
hold on. The triune Godhead is fully male.
okay. Sure, yeah, but literally, it's actually kind of crazy because at least what's her name? Eve was deceived. Adam was
Now,
not deceived. He still made a dumb decision. He's retarded.
Yeah, but God holds them both responsible
Yeah, but
because
obviously males are supposed to be leading, so he Adam holds more responsible than Eve because he's supposed to be the leader. He's the husband, so he's more retarded. He's more
Wait a minute. If you
responsible.
don't like, wait, if you don't like males, but they're supposed to be leading, then who's going to be leading you?
What are you talking about? I don't need a male to lead me. I'm a virgin that does not. I don't need to be in a relationship. Jesus was single. Like, what are you talking about?
Aren't you going to have some kids?
No, I'm a
she wants to be
virgin.
a
I don't.
nun. She wants to be a nun.
Well, eventually, when you're like, when you're a bit older, maybe you'll have
No,
kids then.
that there's no eventually.
No,
I don't
I
want to be.
mean we need more nuns, so maybe we should like encourage this. Like,
yeah,
have
but
you
again,
like are
the
you at all?
fundamental hold on. The fundamental precept that she's making the
I
case that
know.
men are evil. Okay,
Uh,
so she
Yeah, men
cannot be
are
a nun.
evil. Men are evil. Yeah.
Women are evil
oh
as
well.
well.
No,
We have
because
Yeah,
seen
they
they're
are.
that to be the case.
they're deceived. The thing is, men they know what they're doing according to Adam, right? Adam knew. He knows what he's fully doing. Women are deceived, so they're not retarded. It's the men
Yeah.
that are retarded
So
because they
who ate?
have the ability.
Hold on. Who ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in
Yeah,
the
he
first
was
place?
deceived, but Adam he had full knowledge, so
Yeah,
he is the
no.
one who
Adam
ate
was also
from
deceived
the
as
tree.
well.
No, he wasn't. It says in the Bible, Adam was not deceived. It was Eve. You're going against the Bible. You
Can
see, this
you
is why
hold on?
I'm
Can
saying this
you
is why.
point
That's not
where
even
it
true at
says
all.
like not deceived?
Huh?
No, Adam was deceived. Eve came up to Adam and said, "Oh, we can eat this," and it's
No.
about the serpent in the first place.
He
The
knew
serpent.
he knew he wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah,
Literally,
so
it
Eve
did
said
Eve.
also knew that too.
he was not deceived. He knew what he was doing. There's a reason why God has
Well,
men
Eve
as
knew that,
leaders.
and she was not deceived, or she was
No,
deceived.
it says in the Bible she was deceived.
Yikes!
And Adam was deceived too, right?
No, Adam was not
No.
deceived. It said
Then
Adam
why
was not
didn't he?
deceived. It was
Why did he not eat from it apropos of Eve?
wait, what?
Why did he not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil apropos of Eve?
I don't know. He's just fucking retarded. I don't know.
So you're saying that like he had knowledge of good and evil, but he's
Yeah,
like stupid.
he had knowledge, right? There's a reason why males
But
have
he's
leadership
stupid.
because they have they they're given the knowledge equipped to, you know, give order. So that means he knows full and well what he's doing and he's still doing it. Whereas women, right, they tend to be more deceived and they have a weaker mind. So that makes Adam more retarded because he knows fully well. It's like a child doing wrong, and then no, it's the adult
Are
that
you
is
equating
more
women to
responsible.
children?
Well, yeah, you can kind of compare it in that way because God literally says we're deceived.
Based.
It
Yeah.
says that we should have faith like a child in John, right? It
Huh?
says we should have faith like a child.
Yeah.
Well, we know one thing: children need adults. So if women are children, then women need men or adults.
Yeah. But that's what, like, if men make mistakes, they're retarded. Women, they're not because they're deceived. They're
Yeah,
like have a weak
So
mind.
yeah,
yeah,
they're not smart enough to
children
not be
can't take.
deceived.
Yeah,
Men
children
are.
can't take responsibility. They're too young, just like women. I suppose. Fair enough.
Yeah, we do not hold responsibility. That's why they put men in
So
leadership. So
how
if
can you
a
hate
man
men
messes up, he's
if you're not
retarded.
smart enough to make a decision?
Huh?
You're
What did
basically
you say?
saying like women can't be deceived because they're too dumb.
No, not they're too
No,
dumb. It's because that we have a weaker mindset. So not like that means they're dumb. It means
I
they
Mindset.
have
mean,
a weak
if your
What
mind
would
mindset.
is
that
too weak,
entail?
how
What
do
would
you
that
know like
entail?
That doesn't necessarily make you dumb. If
Strong,
you're
independent
dumb,
women.
Yeah, but hold on.
if
How?
you're
What would that
dumb, so
entail?
listen.
What you lack agency? You lack moral agency?
Yeah, why was Eve talking
It's
to the
more
snake in
so
the
a
first place?
spiritual thing.
Sounds
It's more
ridiculous.
so a spiritual thing because men have more spiritual discernment than women. So if you're a man that have more spiritual discernment and you're making the same wrong as a woman, you're hold to a higher standard because you were created as a leader. Whereas women, they're not created the same way. So you have more
who's going to be your
responsibility.
leader?
I
That's
don't
why
know.
it
I
falls
think
onto
women
the
can be
men.
leaders.
That's why you need a good, strong leader, young lady.
Talking
That's what
about
you
like
need.
I'm talking about in terms of spirituality. Other stuff like mathematics and things like that, I don't really care about
we have
that. But if
we have
you're
women
a
that are
man,
mothers,
what did
like
you say?
mothers of like in what's that called? Is it called a monastery or like another name? But like the
Convent.
mother of like
Mm-hmm.
Convent.
wait,
Yeah,
say again?
convent.
Convent.
A convent. Yeah, there is a leader of a convent that's called a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual mother.
Yeah, so yeah. So women can lead.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Mother,
Yeah, I never.
Mother
I'm talking
Superior.
about in
Actually,
terms of
I don't know.
spirituality, like being in the church, like being a
Right. Well,
thing
that
like that,
mother is a
having
spiritual
authority.
leader.
Huh?
That mother is a spiritual leader.
Bro, I'll bet you if a dude started running that convent, it'll get better
I don't
outcomes. I'll
know.
bet
Like
you.
I don't know, like this like feminist thing that you're doing, but like
It's
that's
not a
so weird.
feminist thing.
You're
Girl,
no,
Okay.
what the
you're
fuck are you
There's
talking
different.
about, bro? Like, honestly, what's your point? I
You're
don't
different.
understand. I'm not following.
Really weird.
there's a
Like,
fundamental ontology what makes a man and a woman, right?
okay.
Yeah.
If we
Did you fully
understand that
feel
to be
sense?
the case, it's not simply leadership. Okay, so women can lead the convent because they have
But the,
authority over other women. When we look at First Timothy 2:12, I believe it is, right? Women do not have the authority to preach within the church. They're
mhm,
not part of the ecclesiastical structure of the church.
mhm,
But the structure of the convent would be based upon the patriarchal structure of the church itself.
yeah. So yeah, I'm talking about order in the church. Like if you're a woman leading, um, you don't have that spiritual authority, a God giving spiritual authority. But in other places, yeah, sure, you can lead. But if a man makes a mistake in terms of like teachings or whatever or morality with God, he holds more responsibility when he's the teacher, right? Because if
The
we cannot
adult.
have
Yeah, he's the
authority,
adult. Yeah.
no, we're also adults, but if he is a teacher, he's supposed to be teaching, right? God gave them the authority to teach. He holds more responsibility. If the student, right? The student falls into sin
Exactly. The
because he's
teacher
supposed to
holds
be
more
teaching.
responsibility than the student because they're older. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
teacher
so let
holds more
me let
responsibility.
me let me ask you a question. Let's say that my son grew up and he became a criminal. Is that my fault or is that his fault?
Huh? I'm only talking about spirituality.
Little
But the whole
wow.
less is with each other,
Like
right?
spirituality. So if you're teaching your son, like obviously the word of God and things like that, like, I mean, that's specifically like authoritarian places in the church. Like if you're a pastor and you're like leading
Pastor.
the
Okay.
people, yeah, like
Now
you're a
we see what it
pastor or
is.
authoritative like a church father and you're leading people astray, you have more responsibility. Or if you're a husband, right, because it says husbands should be leading and stuff in a marriage, and you're like making like, you're sinning and you're whatever,
But
you're
what is the
leading your
moral
woman.
agency for my hold on. So if my son were to do a sin, is that my moral agency?
Depends how old he is, mate. That's the bottom line.
You hold responsibility as a father, yeah.
Okay.
Depends on his
So
age.
if my son were to become, let's say, okay, my son is 1 years old right now. If he were to become the age of 13 years old and he masturbates, do I hold the authority from that? Is that
You
my
hold some
moral
You're
sort of
agency?
responsible.
you hold some
Wait.
sort of responsibility because as a parent you should be monitoring your kids and the
Well,
things
Rocco,
that
let's
they're
be honest about this. Rocco, let's be honest about this. Up until the age of 18, your children are the equivalent of like an extra finger on your hand, like an appendage. You're responsible for everything they do the same way you're
exactly.
responsible for your fingers. But when they get to
Yeah,
18, they separate off your hand and they become on their own body and they're running their own ship at that point.
yeah,
No,
they become their own man, then
that's
that's
not the case in the first place.
how
That
is
is the
that not
Children
the
case.
case with their
because
children?
children can fall into sin, okay?
Okay, they can fall into sin, but parents hold some sort of responsibility because if a
No.
kid, right, but if legitimately like a kid is talking about sexual stuff and they're like doing sexual mannerisms, that kind of thing usually comes from learning that stuff in the home or the
No, it
lack of.
actually comes from pornography, which is
No, it
why
doesn't. They okay,
yes,
a
it
parent
does.
has to monitor. That's the
Yes, it
parent's
does.
job. There's so many
Well,
It
resources out
Rocco,
that
it
that's the
comes
block
from
parents. The parents have to
pornography.
control
you
that, bro.
hold some sort.
Parents have to Oh no, no. Parents have to control access to what their children are watching and playing with their phones
Really,
or
but
whatever. They
if
have to
they go
control
to
that.
a
That,
public if they
who
go
gives
to a
them the
public
phone?
oh, hold on. If they go to a public school and then their friend is like, "Hey, look at this pornography that I'm watching."
Then yeah, you should teach your child that if they're showing you sexual things, they're trying to lead you astray. You're supposed to teach your child that and um teach your
Do you
child
have
to come to
children?
you. What do you mean?
Do you
Do
have
I have
children?
children? That's a basic
She's a
thing.
virgin, bro.
Who-
She's still a
What are you
child.
talking?
Yeah, so how do you know how the world will influence your children?
That's why you teach them before they go out into the real world. That's the job of the parent. So
Ridiculous.
if you teach your child, if somebody touches you in the no square, it's your
The hell?
responsibility to teach them that.
The
Yes, the
no-no
no
square.
square.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
the no square. You're supposed.
that's really not the point that I'm making. I'm making the
Okay,
point
well, I'm
even
giving an example that's
Femcel,
similar.
are you really not a minor?
I'm not a minor. Why do
Definitely
you keep
mine.
Okay, all right.
And sounds like a retard too.
a what?
Like, who the fuck calls it the no square?
I say the no square because I want to be somewhat
How old are
appropriate.
you? How old are
Yeah,
you?
I'm an adult, 18 plus.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's the point of
But
this
I've got a bit of a
obviously, when you
no-no.
conversation? I've been
explain
sitting
it
here
to
for
the
10 minutes.
kid, you're not gonna say,
I've
"Oh,
got a
your
bit of a.
penis, this and
Can we
that."
talk about
You're gonna be
Jews,
like, "These
please?
are the
I feel
areas."
like we haven't talked about them enough.
I've got
true.
more of a
True.
no-no
Let's go.
rectangle myself, personally.
True. Kai's making sense.
For the first time, huh?
Dobra. Dobra.
No, dobre. Dobre, right?
Okay, no
Not...
Polish.
yeah, but you actually hate us, Abysma.
No, it's
Maybe.
just because we derail the chat if we speak
Oh,
in Polish.
sorry. But talking about Jews for like 3 hours straight isn't derailing the chat.
No, I'm giving the entire history of the Jewish
Okay.
philosophy.
But it has to be fundamentally right. You
Yeah.
have to yeah. Okay.
Yes. But the
I
problem here is that if a child goes out into the world, then what control does the power does the parent have whatsoever anymore?
Bro,
like I
that's why you
said,
have to leave your
Mm.
kids.
you
Bro,
have
that's
to
why you have to leave your
discipline.
kids with only suitable guardians, bro. So your teachers of your kids have to be suitable guardians. Whoever else looks after them have to be
So
suitable
it would have to
guardians.
be homeschooling, correct?
Potentially.
It doesn't necessarily
Potentially.
have to be
And then your kid
homeschooling.
becomes socially inept because they're in the house all day. Like that's
Yeah, I
depressing.
No.
just think
No.
I think
There's
No,
better
quite
homeschooling
than
is
being
literally. Quite,
retarded.
there's better than being
unless you're
propagandized
like
by
no. It's literally
government.
statistically proven that most children that are homeschooled are literally socially inept, and their first
No,
like
that's
real
not true.
experience of life is like college, right? Well, they'll
What
go to
would
these
be
parties.
experience of life? Why would
No,
they
like
go to these
like
parties?
social events, right? Like
Yeah.
social gatherings with people their age demographic. Like there's been multiple instances where people who
Because they're
are
bad at
homeschooled.
beer pong.
Okay. No, not that. Like there have been multiple instances where people are homeschooled and they go to like a 4-year university where they'll stay on campus, stay dormed, right? And they'll go to parties, they'll get drunk, stuff like that, and then they'll fail out of school because all they're doing is partying. They don't know the balance between
Well, they
fun because
shouldn't
they
be doing
haven't.
that. Their parents failed.
No, I
All
don't
over this
agree with that
party.
No, because
whatsoever.
they don't know fun. They don't know fun because they
No,
One
that's
day,
experience fun for the
ridiculous
first
on
time in
its face.
university.
That's
How is it
ridiculous
ridiculous
on
on
its
his
face.
face? How?
Because Kaya, you're essentially stating the same thing when we
Yo,
make
Fight, I
the
have a
argument.
question. If your child is homeschooled through K through 5th grade, how do they get recess?
Are you kidding me? When a child is
Oh, no, please
homeschooled,
answer the question. Answer, please.
when a child is homeschooled, specifically in the state that I live in, right, they have to go through these different rigmaroles, and
Hmm.
they can learn all these things in the course of 3 hours.
Okay, that wasn't an answer to my question, right? You dodged
Yeah,
it.
so
So if
no, no,
yeah,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
because if you are saying that a child has to stay there for 8 hours a day in order to learn these
Did you
things, that's simply not the
did you hear
case.
my question?
Yeah, I did.
And what was the question?
You said, how do they get recess?
Yeah, exactly, right? And you do know what
Yeah,
recess is? You know what the purpose of recess is?
it's a break.
No,
But when
it's
does it
not
occur?
just a break. I mean, definitely like if you're defining recess, it is a break, right? But recess is where kids congregate together and play, and that's where you develop social skills, and that's how you build friendships, right? When a child is homeschooled, there's no recess. There's no other kids they go play with. They're just inside. Their break is fucking YouTube shorts. That's all the break is.
That's crazy to say. Look,
It
me and you
is.
are
Okay, so
both
are
Polish.
you driving
Um,
your kid to the fucking playground where there's gonna be no
Both
kids?
me and you are Polish. When we look at the
Yes.
history of humanity, right?
Polish.
There's
Yes.
never been a case that there's been like some kind of break that everyone comes in, congregates in.
So have you never you've grown up in America, right?
No,
Like you didn't experience elementary school in America? You
don't
did.
dox me.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'll
Well,
take the
if
range of this. I'll
okay.
take the range of this because I work in a public in a private Catholic school.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah,
so
right? Like growing up in
one of the
America.
things is
All
that when
right.
it comes to socialization of children, homeschool does a great thing for making sure that the values are controlled. The thing is, though, is that if you're going to homeschool, it's really recommended that if you do, you find other parents and essentially form some sort of like homeschool community so
Of
that you
course.
don't have to keep your
How
kids there because your
accessible
kids.
is that? The reality
I
of that
doesn't that
actually
varies.
working
That
out is
varies.
unrealistic. It's very
Yeah, that
unrealistic.
varies. It varies.
The
That's
reality in
why
public
No,
my
schools,
thing
there's
would
lady.
be
actually
my next
multiple
best thing.
homeschool communities.
The next, well, hold on,
Wait,
hold on. In the United States, it's not that easy because people here seem to be more isolationist in terms of their own kin than others.
Yeah, it's
But
atomized.
in
guys, public
one of the
schools
things
are
is
so
that
bad.
that's
This is
why
worth
when it
the risk.
comes to schools, if you had a choice, if you're willing to keep your kid at home 5 to 7 days a week to school them, then just fork over the damn money and take them to a private school, particularly a Christian and or if you could do better, a Catholic school,
No,
because
no, no, no,
it's
no, no.
in general you're going to find that social socialization of children needs to happen where they encounter other people of different backgrounds
Not worth the risk,
because
man. Just not worth the risk.
Backgrounds?
with
How does that
I'm
even
not
make
done
any
talking
sense?
because statistically it is not good to have a lack of social interaction.
Too
Because
risky,
they
Yeah,
sir.
become
but
socially
what
inept.
about the
Beyond
They
question.
backgrounds?
quite literally become socially inept. Quite literally.
No,
Yeah.
But that's worth the
Like
risk.
when I
That's
go to
worth the risk.
The Catholic school that I work at, I have 25 middle school students. Of the 25 of them, most of them are Hispanic, Latino. Most of them are Mexican. But the thing is, despite that, most of them are all from diverse backgrounds. Some of them come from people who actually jumped the border. I actually know a
Ooh.
couple. And there's some who are legal. There are some who have zero home life. And then there are some who have home life, but their parents are divorced. There's all kinds of different things about them. That doesn't make it bad, though, because they're some of the best students in the world and they're really good
I know, but
Christian
it's not
students
worth
that
the
I would
risk,
trust.
sir. And
this
schooling
is
is a safer.
liberalism, which is what the Catholic Church stood against for the past 2,000 years.
I mean, if you want to indoctrinate your children and watch them regress in behaviors once they
That's
go
what the
outside the
schools are
real
gonna do
world,
to
go
them.
ahead. Go ahead, fight. You know what? Go
That's
ahead,
what the
bro.
school's gonna do to them, man.
The school, what
The school's gonna
school?
propagandize them. The school's gonna make
Propagandize.
them
Fuck.
bad.
Oh,
That is
sorry.
why.
I can't cuss.
That
I
is why.
apologize.
If you're scared of some weird libtard invention, put the hands of your child's education
Guys,
in the
when
same
was the
area you
last
put your
time you went
education
to
as a
church?
Catholic in. Put it in the hands of your diocese.
Guys,
Yeah,
or
that's not.
when
They're
was
not
the last
trustworthy,
time that
sir.
you went to church?
What's that?
It,
Works in
When
a
was the
Catholic
last
school,
time you
right?
went to church?
I'm about to go in
I
about 2 hours.
When was the last time that you went to it?
Like a little over 24 hours ago.
He works at a Catholic school. He teaches the
That's not.
youth about Catholicism. What are you? What's his point?
Yeah, so when
It's
I
not worth
spoke
the
to
risk,
him
man.
for the first time, he said that he hadn't gone to church for the longest time.
Okay, and you
okay.
can
So
still be
going
in
to a
tune.
Catholic,
Okay,
hold on,
fight. You can still be
hold
in
on.
tune with your faith, and you don't attend mass. You know that, right?
No, because
Yes.
The Eucharist is the thing that is sanctifying
That's not
to us
how
both.
Catholicism works.
I go to mass I go to mass 4 times a week. Of the 7 days, I only 3 days I don't go to mass, and that's if there's no holy days of obligation. Like I
Yeah,
haven't been. This is the first time I've been to a church. I've been going to a church more than once or twice a week. I go there like 5 times a week at some days. Actually,
yeah,
I had an option actually to go 7 days in a row last week. I should have, but you know.
Point is, sending your kids to school is very dangerous nowadays. Very risky.
It's super dangerous. It's super dangerous. God
It is.
forbid
That's
your
why
child socializes with other people that think differently.
No, God,
God
no,
forbid.
God
yeah,
forbid your
that
your
would be bad,
children teachers
right?
are trannies. God forbid
Different
that's
that.
why
because
you put it in
because
your
if you
hands.
because literally that kind of goes against what Jesus taught because Jesus was surrounded by people he didn't think the same
Wasn't surrounded
prostitutes and
by
things.
trannies.
I find it crazy that you guys are so afraid of indoctrination when you guys are literally doing that to your children.
I would,
I find that insane.
but that's
How
why
would
I
that
would
even be a bad precept?
Like,
before
I
I would
find
put,
that
I would put
insane.
How?
that's why I'm
If
saying
you want to have
put
children,
your
do you not
children,
think that they should believe the things that you believe that are
put your
righteous?
children,
Who is
put
to
the
tell me
trust.
the things I believe is the absolute truth and is correct?
It's
We are all
virtuous,
humans.
okay?
We are all humans. We all adapt and
Okay,
change
so
based on our surroundings and what we learn.
should my 3-year-old become a OnlyFans star?
Are you
What
fucking?
the fuck
Are
are
you
you talking
slow?
about?
Fight,
You're
lock in,
retarded.
fight, lock in,
Okay,
bro.
now you're genuinely being
Lock in,
retarded
bro.
right now.
Like,
Wait, should I change? Should I
Dude,
change my
OnlyFans
4-year-old
wouldn't
to a
even
yo,
allow
Femcel
a
Put your
now?
3-year-old to
child's
be a.
future and education into the hands of your bishop.
nah,
Take them to a Catholic private school within your diocese. Problem solved.
nah.
No, I
Wait,
think
fight. I
we.
have a question.
No.
Then I have a question. Would you rather them to be taught about? Okay. This is playing into your hypothetical. Would you rather them be taught on why OnlyFans is bad early on, or them thrown in the fucking university where they learn about OnlyFans by other people and they hear
They're
how
not
good it
going
is
to
and they start doing
Prefer
it?
to
university.
teach them. I
Your
prefer to
children
teach
are
them.
gonna go
I don't
pursue a
trust
higher
the teacher.
education?
No,
I
they're
don't trust
not.
the teacher.
Why not?
Sorry. Can't
Because
trust
I
the teacher.
make a lot of money.
Hey, brother,
So
why
they're
can't
so
you
they're just
trust
huh?
if you asked why can't you trust your bishop to teach the things that your child knows within the context of a Catholic teaching? Because my bishop
Because
does
we already
in
gave
the
them that
Diocese of
chance
Little
and
Rock.
they fucked it up.
Because those bishops follow orders. They don't do the right thing.
There's a lot of dioceses here, right? And they, for example, no, I'm not gonna dox myself.
Oh, wait, diocese? Okay, no. Can you go in context, please? I'm confused.
There's a lot of
But
dioceses that teach against the Catholic precepts. They don't believe in the ordinary magisterium of the Pope.
Yeah, that's why you vet the church, vet the schools they go to. You don't. You're just making a conclusion about all Catholic churches.
then just put them in a different church, in different
Wait,
schools,
fight, do you
in
go
a
to
different
Polish for
diocese.
show?
I do sometimes.
Bro, you have to go there all the time, bro.
Why?
They're the
No,
best
actually,
ones.
it says in the Catechism, right? I believe the canon law 8:1:2, something like that. It says that you have to be a pillar of light within your local community.
Um. Yeah. How is your kid gonna be in the community if they're stuck at home, fucking 8 hours in the fucking day?
It's not 8 hours.
It's not 8 hours. Okay. How long?
At most, it's 3 hours.
3 hours
Three
for school?
3 hours
Yes.
of education. So how would they
They don't need
learn? Would it
more
be
than
like
that.
hands-on
All right.
activity, or would it just be like staring at a screen all day? What would
So
learning
what
be
you would
like
have
for
to
them?
understand about
Zero
public
screens.
education, it's on the
This
lowest
is a
common
non-answer, by the
denominator.
way. This is a non-answer. Okay,
No.
go fight.
He
You're
was
Yes.
about to
deflecting. Go ahead.
answer.
Go ahead.
Hold on. He was about to answer why public education takes longer.
Yeah.
No one asked that question. He's
It
just like
takes
making up a
it's the
random
Zero
question
lowest
in his
common
head.
screens pretty much.
denominator, right? So it has to appeal to the lowest common denominator.
Okay.
My wife can teach my children faster. My mom, my dad, they can do these things faster.
Okay.
And they're more
Right.
trustworthy as well.
And
Less
do you have
stress.
the financial income to let your wife stay at home for full time?
Yeah, I
Because
do.
you
Of course, yeah.
know. Hmm.
I'd still put I don't have the
So
facilities to teach any of my any children beyond my scope of degree of my bachelor's degree. But
Well,
I still would trust my bishop to provide the guidelines over some secular school board that's gonna want to give you freaking 7 days of Christmas break, or say you can't have Christmas trees, or let children with LGBT freak show haircuts and all this bullshit come into the school. I'd still trust my bishop over that. If I could, I'd forego all my money to get my kids to stay in Catholic school for the rest of their career as student.
you're still denying your children socialization with other children. Like
No, you're
There
not.
I
are there
understand.
are other
They're
children.
able to
There
make
are
their
other children. There are plenty of other children in these Catholic schools. If you're one kid in this Catholic school, you have 24 other kids your age that can talk to you.
it's not
Precisely,
really
You
even
don't,
about
precisely.
you
that.
don't